Hey, fifth grade. So I'm excited. We're about to start writing. And I love writing because, well, I love to use words. And then I get to put words together and use my imagination and be extra creative and all these things. So we're actually going to start on page 103. I want to start on page 103. Now, I know this might seem a little off because we were way ahead in our book and we're going backwards. However, I do want to inform you that we have finished and we have accomplished so many things. And I am glad because now we can put all of the things that we have learned into our wonderful writing. Okay, so first, we're going to be talking about using a thesaurus. Using a thesaurus. I'm sure that we have spoken about this in class. So a thesaurus is going to be similar to a dictionary in the way that you look up your words if you have a hard copy. So you're going to take, your thesaurus and you're going to search a word that you may want to make more colorful. And in the entry, it is going to list for you some other words that you are able to use. Now, if you're like me and you're constantly on the computer, it's pretty simple. You hover your mouse over the word that you would like to change and make more colorful. Typically, right click, and then it'll give you some options if you scroll down to synonyms. Okay, and you can pick from a list that it usually gives to you, and sometimes it allows you to go even further. But again, you can do either. You can look in the book like I like to, or you can be on the computer like I am most of the time, and correct your work that way and make your work more colorful that way. So I do it both ways, depending on how I'm feeling and what I'm looking for. So in the example, they give you the word funny. Okay, funny is an adjective. We all know that an adjective is describing. And of course, it means causing laughter or amusement. So some other words that you can use instead of the word funny within your writing could be amusing. That was comical. It was entertaining. It was hilarious, humorous, jolly, laughable, or silly. Okay, so the antonyms that are given here, and we know that an antonym means the opposite. An antonym is boring, sad, and serious. Well, I can't be too serious. But anyway, remember again, when we are looking at these words that we use every day, there may be a word that we can use to make our story more interesting for our readers. So first on page 103, we're going to compare the two poems. So of course, they're both entitled Seashells, but if you notice, we have some different language in one, okay? So let's start with the directions here. The speaker imagines that the beautiful shells he finds on the seashore are broken pieces. Which poem has more sound and rhythm as a result of its words? Underline some of the words that give the poem its appeal. All right, so we are going to be looking at the first poem, Seashells, okay? All right, if you notice, first, look at the second poem here. And you have the word broken twice, which it's kind of funny to me. I wouldn't do anything like that, but broken castles around my feet, broken pieces of royal homes. Well, let's go over to the first poem here. Well, wouldn't it sound better if you said shattered castles around my feet? Fragments of royal homes? Well, fragments and shattered can be similar. and it gives you a different perspective. It allows you to visualize these castles and these seashells a little bit better than saying broken. Okay. So if we continue looking at the first poem, it has pieces of palaces borne on the tide, washed to the shore in foam. Okay. So pieces is going to be a little bit better, right, than the word bits. And palaces is going to be a little bit more grand than actually saying castles. All right. And then we have foam. And that just gives a little bit more description to the water and how the water may seem. Sometimes when you go to the beach, you see that that foam on the top of the water. So again, using that colorful language to really paint an image. I can maybe see a bit more vividly the first poem and what they're describing, and in comparison, to the second seashells poem that they have. So what I want you to do is actually finish up the last two paragraphs and do the same thing. Go down, compare the two, okay? And then looking at your first one, either highlight or underline those words that may be synonyms of another, okay? And makes the poem sound better to you. So in 104, you are actually going to use a thesaurus. If mom and dad have one, please go ahead and grab it out. I know that everybody doesn't have a thesaurus in their home. However, again, you can use your computer, or you can even look it up online. So if you go to Google on your device and you type in synonyms for, and then you put in that word. So example here, it is going to ask for you to find a synonym for the word change. So go to Google if you want to do that. Type in the word change. Synonyms for change, and then see what comes up for you, okay? You can also do what I do, and you can go to a Google document, and you can put in the word change. And then once you hover your mouse over the word change, right click, scroll down to where it says synonyms. It should pull up a nice list for you, okay? And what 1 through 5 wants you to do is look up each and every one of those words and put several synonyms that are given. Not just one, several, just to give yourself some options there. And then for number 6, 6 through 8, you're going to read all the poems. Again, you're going to use a thesaurus to find, either on Google or in your Google document, to find an appropriate word to replace each underlined word. So you're going to read the poems, look at the underlined word, go to your thesaurus once again, and find a synonym, okay? So expand your minds. Let's get that vocabulary built up, because I love to hear when you speak with those wonderful vocabulary words. Love teaching you. I will see you later.